How's the Serenity? If there's anything Pete loves more than Serenity, it's a rotary engine on full throttle. There was plenty of that on Sunday morning as we went for a cruise. We met at the Peachtree Hotel, chatted, and then headed up the hill via the scenic route. The car park at Sunday Motors was packed. Again, a very nice relaxed vibe, just at our pace. Andrew and Cameron had a few of their personal cars on display, including Cameron's 22B from a previous episode. You might also recognise Glenn's RX-7, Drax's RX-2, Mark's Corolla, James's Corolla, Travis's Celica, David's 1600 and Pete's Gemini. And also, a special mention, shout out to Mark and his neat little charade. He came all the way from Newey for the cruise. What a legend.
Got the shirt on.
Look at that.
Repping the product.
I like that. It's good to see.
Grassroots Garage, welcome back. You know where we are. We're at Sunday Motors. I have Andrew. Andrew, thanks for coming on the
Hey,
show.
man, how you doing?
Cameron.
Thanks, man.
Thanks for your time.
No problem.
I had one camera. Now I've got three because there's Mazdas everywhere. I needed to get everything in. And there's a couple around the corner, which I'll show you in a minute. I'm really excited to be here. Thanks for your time, gents. Tell us about your cars.
Well, this is our Mazdas, basically. We are Mazda dealers and have a bit of a passion for the product, absolutely. So, we've got MX-5s and older piston stuff in particular, not so much as the way of the rotors, but we just have an absolute passion for the product. Yeah.
Yep, and of all eras too, I think. That's so. I get accused of having a bit of a weirdo old piston Mazda collection.
Yes.
And that's okay. I'm fine with that.
I am too.
That's all right.
So where'd the car passion start for you?
Oh, I think for us, it was just our family was always into cars. Like that dad Doug was kind of like a Will Ferrell semi-pro driver for 30 years. Like he raced across a lot of categories for a long time and had a lot of success. But we grew up in a household of lots of cars and quite different cars too, like English cars, a couple of Italian cars, Japanese cars, that kind of stuff as growing up. And I think that it just rusted on. So then when we became car dealers, I mean, Cameron and I have worked together for about 10 years, but he's worked in the car industry a lot longer before that as well. I don't know, I actually gave a talk at a Katoomba Cultural Centre a while ago on cars and culture, and my speech was titled, "We Never Had a Chance." Like the reality was that it was
always going to happen.
We're not talking about Lamborghini Miuras and, birdcage Maseratis. These are sort of, mainly Japanese cars but the ones we've tried to pick up over the years, we've just tried to find the best ones we can, and I think that you're always well served by that. Especially, I mean, everything's for sale, of course, but I think if you start off with a really good car, you the one that's been loved, you can't go wrong.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep, that's everything's for sale. This is Sunday Motors, so so this is your boutique dealership?
Yeah, it's something we've sort of always done bits and pieces of through our dealership, our main dealership, but space became the key at that point in time, and having, fun quality cars that can't live in a showroom and whatnot just wasn't going to work, and we just, like the idea of doing more and more of it. It's not going to make us millionaires, but it's going to be an awful lot of fun along the way, and you get your fingers on all kinds of weird, wonderful, bizarre toys, which is half the love of it for sure. Keeps it interesting.
And I'd probably argue, even if I was a millionaire, I'd probably still want one of those.
Sorry to burst your bubble, mate, but see that 1500? The boys had it for sale for $8,990 a few weeks ago, and guess what? It's gone.
Look at this. Where are we going to start? Start me off wherever you like. Oh, yeah.
That's cool.
Start me with that, yeah.
So this, I've had a couple of these, and this one I had a bit of a plan with. This is a 1968 Mazda 1500 SS with its weirdly World War II German badging that's got a hat on it, which wasn't a long time afterwards either when they came for that. But these have got a pretty interesting history in that they're a Bertone design, they're an Italian design car, and there's much conjecture that they were going to be a Lancia or they were going to be an Alpha or this sort of stuff, and there was some decision was made they didn't go ahead. And Mazda at the time, like most of the Japanese car companies, were pretty desperate for design and product, and they bought the design and made it. So it's always sort of been known as the Japanese Italian car. In the 1500, there was most of them are a more basic bench seat column shift car. We actually recently sold one a little while ago. This one, after I had one and sold it and had a couple others, and then with this one I thought I was going to try and recreate that sort of 60s rally look. And it only came about because we had another car that we'd taken the front bar off, and we just realised that they just look so much cooler without bars.
Doesn't it? Yeah, doesn't it? It's great.
So it has
profile,
that, and
very
so
angry.
yeah, I think it's a great shape, and it's just an era of Mazdas that Mazda had only been in Australia for I suppose 4 or 5 years at this point, and there's actually a surprising amount floating around of 1500s. Most of them are in a paddock, fairly ruined, but this one's a really good car. It had an 1800 later series 1800 engine fitted. That's why it's got the bonnet, but I do like that Japanese black bonnet look. I thought it's not quite a tofu delivery vehicle, but it's got a similar vibe. So I thought, and I really like. It's just a really simple thing how my plates came out with this vintage JDM series of plates. It just ties
it all together.
It does for sure. Yeah, and I was like, there's a guy in Melbourne who does parts, who just brings in heaps and heaps of wheels, which is actually where we bought most of our wheels for the wall, and because they're quite an unusual size. So yeah, it's a cool car.
Sit there, you've put it just right with that tyre, I think, as well. It's a really nice fitment.
Yeah. I mean, look, it's not particularly fast. It doesn't stop particularly well, or turn around corners great, but it is a great era.
So 1800 piston motor, you said?
Yes, it is.
Can we have a cheeky little look at it?
Yeah, sure.
And what's this wheel? This is like a Nardi knockoff?
Yeah, well, this was the difference with the 1500. The standard car had a more plastic wheel and a column shift, and the thing with the SS, the big difference was bucket seats, 4-speed on the floor, and the timber steering wheel and a tacho.
Oh, a tacho.
Didn't really go any faster, I don't think. But,
it had the tacho. You tell me this is the original interior.
I think bits and pieces.
Bits and pieces,
the seats have been retrimmed at some point. And it's had a carpet, but it's they're horrible.
Big stereo's been put in.
So this is really just a very simple old single overhead cam, 1800.
Yeah.
Very, very
Gets the
simple.
job done.
They are that great era, which I've always loved of these, where they have this very much stamped in, made in Japan, which I think does
doing their branding. Show me something else.
All right, so what we've got here, this is look, I've been caught up. I've said the wrong thing on this before. This is a Mazda 1300 two-door sedan, the FA3TS.
Yes.
It's a model code, which is the fast, which I think sums it up. I've had this for a number of years. It's just absolutely stock as a rock, and just a great little car.
And so the fats, it just gave you, it's an inch, isn't it?
Yeah,
that's all it was. They upped the profile of the car just that little bit.
And so this is 76. So towards the tail end of 1300. I bought this off a guy in Canberra who I think from memory needed money for a rotary project, like most guys with rotaries. And so, it's just, I just love the fact that it's just really, really standard. It drives nicely. It does everything right. It feels very original. Yeah. It's even got it's got the nano versions, etc. We're pretty sure that's the original sticker from when it was sold new in Victoria.
Yeah.
And these, I love the tail of these. I just think with the big Mazda across the back.
Yeah.
And there's, the reality is everything looks better in two doors.
Oh, that's right, isn't it? Absolutely.
It's just a bit of a giveaway. And this has also got, look, I'm not sure whether or not I've seen that. Like, it's got plastic on the doors.
Wow.
Who knows if it's real, or someone put it back on, but it doesn't really matter. Everything's always for sale. But,
that's right.
But it's just one of those little cars, I think, that I'd never find another one that's as in good a nick without spending vastly more than you'd ever get for one, I suppose.
That's right.
So
that's
I think, and these are the sort of cars, they're just getting harder and harder to find, and they're finally having their day, I think.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
They're definitely, they spend too long being cheap.
Yeah.
So then this guy here,
Past the race car, just sneak past that.
Sort of shorter door at the moment. So this here is the follow-on because the 1300 was the Familia as in Japan, and then this was the first 323. Mazda at the moment is running a really cool campaign on 40 years of this model, which is just a great idea with the current Mazda 3. This is a 77 323, the very first of them. I was lucky enough to buy this off a guy a few years ago, and look, I've done nothing at all to it except it's just so good. Like it just is really. It's, I don't know. Like it shows 30,000 Ks.
I love this.
The tartan interior.
Yes.
It's kind of like having a 60s 911 without the 200 grand.
Yep.
Auto.
That's
auto and air. And
no way.
you pretty much with the auto, like with the air on, it feels like about 20 horsepower. And kind of,
Yeah, just that tartan interior.
yeah,
is fantastic,
it is
isn't
just hilarious.
Yeah.
So that's the Mazda promotion.
Oh, yeah.
So 40 years in the driver's
40 years, yeah.
But yeah, it's just one of those cars that the guy who owned it before me, who was a real enthusiast and had it for years, I think it was always been a really, really good car. And then he had just over the years found little bits and pieces to things
Finish it
like
off.
things like the guards and the Mazda mud flaps, and also with a bit of luck too, just had the original number plates from the period.
Oh, wow,
So we refer to this one as the Japanese prima donna, the JPD, because it's just a princess.
Yeah. See, and that's another thing where you can change those plates, but you could never get the original plates. Do you know what I mean? Like,
That's right. And I just think you get lucky sometimes with those cars that they've got, that they've stayed registered, or whether or not there's been some swapping at some point, but they're just the right era.
Just the right. Thanks for your time, really appreciate it.
All right, man. Always a pleasure, man. Cheers.
Thanks, man.
No worries.
Thanks to everyone that came on Sunday's cruise. We're keen to organise another one soon. If you're looking for a place to hang out and chat cars, jump in the group Classic and Modified Cars Community. The aim is to make one group where we can all chat and enjoy the company of other car enthusiasts. Thanks to Cameron and Andrew for having us. And now here's a full clip of us rolling up the hill to Sunday Motors.